Hello, and today I'm going to be showing you some Blu-rays I picked up from Music Magpie. Now, for those of you who live in the UK, you probably know what Music Magpie is. If you don't, it's a website that sells secondhand, like electronics, books, CDs, Blu-rays, DVDs, that sort of thing. And they have these on their sort of DVDs and Blu-rays. They have these multi-buy offers. You have like one of them is two for £3 or four for £5, and the other one is two for five and four for eight. And I used to buy a lot of stuff from those in those offers. You know, or ages. I used to get a lot of stuff from them, but it got to the point where all the titles in those offers were either things I already had or I just didn't want. So I haven't bought anything from them in a while. But not Music Magpie, but I mean those multi-buy offers in particular. But I had a look the other day, and they actually had some good titles. I had quite a few Disney films, which I remember when Disney films were like really expensive, and now you get them, four of them for a fiver. Probably because people are selling all their old Disney films because they got Disney Plus, whatever. But yeah, so it was actually a bit of a pain to get these though. I tried to order them using the app, Music Magpie app on my phone, and it was just glitching out. It wouldn't let me like buy the stuff, and then when I tried to log on to the web version, it wouldn't load. Uh, that's my soundbar, by the way. Apparently, it's not connected to the internet. It's telling me, but so I couldn't buy the stuff, so I had to ask somebody to order the stuff for me, and I just paid them like sent them the money for them. So yeah, um, so these were two of them were two for £3, and the other ones were I believe four for eight. So my sister also bought a couple of things in the office. She got the two Balto sequels, Balto 2 and Balto 3, because Balto's one of her favourite films, so she got the two sequels. So now she has the complete trilogy. I think. Are there any more Balto films? I don't know. I only saw the first one. It's okay, but yeah. So I have these six titles. I'm just going to go through them in alphabetical order, and we'll start with the one I actually saw in the cinema. We have Crystal Robin. It's basically a film about Ewan McGregor plays Crystal Robin from the Winnie the Pooh stories. Obviously, grown up, and he's kind of there, and he's this he works for a bank or something. He work something like that, and it's about like it's got a description here. Winnie the Pooh and friends embark on a new adventure to help remind a grown-up Crystal Robin how to laugh again. And this is in quotations, sometimes doing nothing leads to the very best something. Share the wonder and delight of this big-hearted tale from Disney with your family. So yeah, I went to see this in the cinema with my friend Robert, because there's nothing weird about two grown men going to see a kids' film together by themselves. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I haven't seen it since though, so it's due. I've been meaning to rewatch it for a while, and now I can. And do you remember? I don't know if you remember, but there was a dueling Crystal Robin film thing, because there was also not around this. I think a few months before this, there was a film called Goodbye Crystal Robin, which is a biopic about A. Milne, the writer of Winnie the Pooh, and it was kind of about his relationship with his son Crystal Robin, whom he named obviously the character Crystal Robin after, and it was about kind of the relationship between them, and how Crystal Robin resented basically being known as the kid from Winnie the Pooh. And that one, of the two, I think I think this was the better film. That one, I've seen it in a while either, but I remember not being that fussed on that one. But I really like this. So, yep, Crystal Robin. Next is another Disney film. The next two are also Disney films. Well, this one and the one afterwards are Disney films. We have Fantasia 2000, and I've just noticed that the case, I don't know if you can see that the case is a little cracked there. I need to get some spare Blu-ray cases. I should buy a pack of spare ones just in case. I used to have spare Blu-ray cases and spare DVD cases all the time, but I've run out, so I need to get some new ones actually. But yeah, this is obviously the sequel to Fantasia. Not as good. The original Fantasia is obviously, masterpiece, one of the best animated films ever. Not for everyone, obviously. It's very abstract. It's basically the closest Walt Disney ever came to making an art house film. But I really like it. Although I admit I do need to be in a particular mood to watch it. But this one is it's quite good. It's not as good. Some of the segments I'm not so keen on, but I like some of them. I really like the one with the whales. If you've seen the film, you know what I mean. This one with the whales. I like the one set to Rhapsody in Blue. The Phoenix one's really good. Wasn't so keen on some of the other ones, but yeah, it's got some good segments in. Probably more accessible than the original. Actually, I think it's between the two. Like for an average viewer, I think would probably enjoy this more than the first one. Probably because it's a lot shorter. But it's quite good. I might do a double feature of the two of them actually at some point because I also have the first one on Blu-ray. And what's quite cool is for the first time ever on Blu-ray, experience the 2003 Academy Award nominated animated short Destino, the extraordinary collaboration between Walt Disney and the legendary author Salvador Dali. So you get bonus short film, which is quite cool. So, yep, that's Fantasia 2000. Next is a film that is actually really near and dear to my heart. I remember, I don't know if they really do this anymore, but when I was a kid, usually on the last day of term at school, the teacher would usually like just put a film on, like on when I was real, it was a video and then later DVD. And I remember, I think it was a reception or year one, the teacher put this film on video, VHS, for a few American viewers. And I really, really love this film. I also watched Dumbo the same. I think they also put Dumbo on another year too. So Dumbo's my favorite Disney animated film, and this one's also another one of my favorite. I think because of seeing it at such a young age. We have The Fox and the Hound. Oh, such a sad film. It's basically about this woman. She finds a fox and she kind of adopts it as a pet, and he becomes friends with this hound. The Todd and Copper, they're called, and it's about their friendship. And then they get separated, and then years later they sort of meet as adults, and they sort of have to become enemies. And it's really like one of those films that I remember making me really cry when I watched it. And I haven't seen it in years, so I'm really looking forward to rewatching it because I genuinely really do love this film. It is like it would probably in like my top 5 animated Disney films, to be honest. Although it obviously depends on how well it holds up on this rewatch. I've got a good idea it'll probably hold up well though, because it's not one of their most well known films, but it's quite highly regarded. So yeah. And Kurt Russell voices the fox when he's an adult, and it was actually a rumor that because it came out the same year as Escape from New York, there was a rumor that he recorded all of his dialogue for this wearing the Snake Plissken costume. That's not true. Animated films usually take a long time to make because animating takes a long time. So he recorded those lines years before he did Escape from New York. So it is quite funny to imagine him this wearing the costume. But yeah, because this was back when he was used to be in a lot of Disney films, didn't he? Kurt Russell, he was like under contract, and I think this was one of the last films he did for Disney before he became like as like an action star basically. So but yeah, really looking forward to rewatching that. Next is the only one I've not seen. This is the only blind buy. Well, I think I watched about 10 minutes of this on TV. Yeah, it was on one of the Channel 4 channels recently, and then it was on the catch-up service. It's not all 4 anyway. It's just called Channel 4, isn't it? Yeah, you know what I mean. Channel 4's catch-up app. And I watched about 10 minutes of this, and I only had time to watch about 10 minutes. And I thought I'll get back to this. From what I saw of it, looked quite good, and then I meant to go back and watch the rest of it, but then it ran out. It left the app. so I didn't see it. So then I saw it was in the offer, and I thought, well, I should get it. So now I can watch the rest of it. We have a most dangerous man, no, a most wanted man. Sorry, I think I was getting the title mixed up with the most dangerous game, but yeah, it's a spy movie. It's based on a book by Jean le Carré. John le Carré, not Jean. John le Carré. Who I've never read a John le Carré book, but I've seen some of the adaptations of his books, and I really enjoyed them. The Spy Who Came In From the Cold, and the TV series of Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy in particular. The films, the Gary Oldman film of that's really good, but the TV series with Alec Guinness is like one of the 10 best TV programs ever made, as far as I'm concerned. It's a brilliant series if you haven't watched it. Yeah, so from what I saw of it, it looked quite good. And I know that Spencer of the channel Damn Fool Idealistic Crusader really rates this. Like, I think he's more into the classic cinema. But he said like this is one of the few films from like the 20th century that he actually really likes. So I thought, well, he and I quite like. I like a lot of the same stuff he does. So I thought, well, if he likes it, I'll probably enjoy this. So, yep. A Most Wanted Man with Philip Seymour Hoffman on there. I think was this his last film before he died? One of his last films, I think. Next is this one I have seen, Prisoners, with it's got loads of actors, and Hugh Jackman, Jake Gyllenhaal, Viola Davis, Terrence Howard, Paul Dano. Paul Dano's really good in this. It's a really cracking film. It's Hugh Jackman, basically his daughter gets kidnapped, and he kind of goes on like this sort of vigilante thing to try and find out where she is, and then Jake Gyllenhaal plays the detective who's like trying to track her down. And what I really liked about this film was it kind of took the vigilante justice kind of thing, where the man goes on a mission to, whatever, and kind of shows how in real life that sort of thing doesn't work. Because Hugh Jackman just kind of makes a mess of things. Really doesn't get anywhere with it. So I really like that, because it kind of takes that story and it's kind of like, yeah, no, that wouldn't happen in real life. This is probably what would happen. So yeah, it is a really good film. A bit too long. It's 153 minutes, which it didn't need to be. That's 2.5 hours, I think. Yeah, about 2.5 hours. Didn't need to be that long. Probably could have been about 20 minutes shorter, but still, really great film. Directed by Denis Villeneuve of Dune fame. Really looking forward to Dune Part 2 next year. It was supposed to come out this year, but it got delayed because of the actors' strike. And yeah, I'm very sad about that. But do give Prisoners a watch if you haven't seen it. And then lastly we have a film that I saw this quite recently. I watched it on Netflix. I think it's still on Netflix. So if you haven't seen it, give it a watch, because it's a really good film. We have Up in the Air with George Clooney. It's sort of a comedy drama from Jason Reitman, the director of Juno, which I've never seen, and Ghostbusters Afterlife, which I've also never seen. I've seen this. Basically, George Clooney he works for a company where they hire him. He gets hired by other companies to basically fire their employees for them, and he spends a lot of time flying around, and his sort of goal is to get I can't remember, but it's so many frequent flyer miles. He wants to achieve that, and he loves this sort of like flying around, and then he ends up. You have Anna Kendrick's. Yeah, meets this woman played by what's her name? Norma Bates. Vera Farmiga. Then he has this relationship with her, and he also has this younger employee from his company, played by Anna Kendrick, which I think this was the film that this kind of launched her career. And she's like, well, we don't even need to send people out. We can just do it, on video calls. And George Clooney's like, no, that wouldn't work. So he basically takes her on like one of his, trips across the US to like fire people, to kind of show, his way of doing is better. And that part of the story I think is quite relevant, because obviously during lockdown, we got used to doing everything on screens and obviously people getting sacked just like on video screens. So it's kind of quite prescient, I think. But yeah, it's a really, really, really good film. Was nominated for a load of awards. I don't know if it won any. But yeah, fantastic film. Like I say, it's on Netflix. So if you have Netflix, give it a watch. It's great. And this is an old. Because this is an old Blockbuster copy. Because for those of you who too young to remember rental shops, Blockbuster, I think when they would, I think either it was rental. I don't know if they would do so, but basically when they would sell like secondhand copies, ex rentals in Blockbuster, they used to put like a little number on the disc, so that's how you can tell it's an old rental copy because it doesn't say it on the box. But yeah, definitely give it a go. Up in the air. And so that's my haul. I will learn to speak one of these days. That's the haul. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. I hope maybe me talking about some of these films has gotten you interested to watch them, or if you've seen them, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think about them. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.